I'm Jen Schrader, and this is Behind the Springs, conversations with the people working for you in Colorado Springs, Olympic City, USA. Hello, everyone. It is back to school season in Colorado Springs. I'm really excited to welcome two guests on the podcast today. Mayor Yemi is here. Of course, Mayor, thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
And then I have Lieutenant Kevin Miyakusu is with our Colorado Springs Police Department. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for having me.
Really appreciate having you here. So I'm going to just start us off by giving us kind of a picture of what it looks like in Colorado Springs. We have 9 public school districts serving our area, over 100 public schools. That's elementary, middle, junior high, high schools. And then there are more than 50 private, parochial, or charter schools in our city. Plus, we are home to more than 50 vocational and trade schools, colleges, universities. So we are educating our youth here in Colorado Springs on many levels. And this is sort of that time of year when we talk about back to school. And in this context, we really want to focus on public safety, which I know, Mayor, for you is a major priority, your top priority. And I know people kind of talk about it as we get going with the school year. We want to talk about inside and out, kind of our approach to safety, because we have a lot of our school resource officers on the inside. We have a lot of patrol officers on the outside. So I want to talk about all those things. Let's first start with just your personal experience, because we're here in back to school week.
Yes.
So can you talk about sending your own kiddos off to school? I assume you did that this week.
Did that on Monday.
And how did it go?
3 days ago. And Jen, first of all, it's always a joy to be on the show with you. And Kevin, welcome. And I'm so glad we get to collaborate together. I also wanted to mention in your introductory remark that we're also a city of neighborhood school and a city of school choice.
I know.
Which means
very important.
Yeah, very important that regardless of where you live, you can come across town and choose to go to Palmer High School because of the benefits that they have. So that's really important. And my family, my kids, we're proud residents in the Colorado Springs District 11 school district. So my kids all 3 of them are in elementary school. My oldest, this is his last year as a 5th grader. He'll be going to middle school next year. And like most parents in our city, you do that plaque, that board that you write back to school with all the details. And for my kids, my 5th grader wants to be a Navy SEAL.
Nice.
It's very appropriate.
Nice choice.
We're a military community.
Right.
My daughter, my 2nd grader, wants to be a teacher.
Ooh, great.
And
we need her.
Dr. Burr Hensel from District 2 has already offered her a job. She goes, when she graduates, she can come work for.
She's a good lady.
We got to keep her here in the spring.
She is a good lady. And Michael Gull at D11 got all jealous. He's like, we're going to give her a job too. So I hope I'm going to push my daughter to keep going, because it'll be great if she ends up being a teacher in Colorado Springs. And then my youngest,
kindergarten?
Last year, he just started kindergarten. Last year, wanted to be T-Rex.
Oh.
He loves dinosaurs. This year, he wants to be a dinosaur bone hunter.
Ooh, he's refining it.
He's refining it. So we're still kind of in a dinosaur theme.
Okay.
But it's been a joy to see them go back to school. And most importantly, we are just cheering on all the teachers, the SRO officers, the students, and the city of Colorado Springs stands with you all as school has kicked off in most districts in our community.
So tell us a little bit about school resource officers, what it looks like in our community, how many you have, and what they do. That may sound like a simple question, but I think people hear about school resource officers, but they're not quite sure. What is that job all about?
Absolutely. The first thing I want to do is just thank our partners at the school districts, because without them, this partnership and the school resource officers, this program just doesn't exist, right? Without our great partners. And then the next thing is I'd like to thank you, Mayor, and of course our Chief of Police for your ongoing support for our SRO officers, who are really important there. We have 14. I have an SRO in each high school. Okay. So there are 14 high schools in the public school system. So we cover District 2, District 11, District 12, District 20, and District 49. And then I have 6 SROs that are dedicated to the middle schools.
Wow. Okay.
Yes. And so what their day is like is their day could be they come into the school and the principal or the dean or somebody says, I'm glad you're here. and it's just, go from there, and it's just go. I have this issue, I have this parent, I have this student. And then there are other times when we can get into the hallways, we can do the high fives with the kids that you were talking about. We can, get the kids to school. They can see us in a different light. Yes, we're in uniform, but, we don't have to enforce anything. We're just encouraging them to do their best. And, the number one thing with an SRO is, of course, the safety and security of the school, right? Here. The students and the staff are the most important for my SROs. And also, a healthy and really productive learning environment for our kids, right? Because we want them to be good citizens when they come out.
And then it's just like the community relations piece too, right? Like you said, whether those kids are needing assistance or they're getting into trouble and they have an issue that needs to be resolved, but even the kids who aren't are seeing that officer every day. And I know my kids know the first names of their SROs and really enjoy their relationships with them. And that gives them their first contact with the police department.
Right.
Hopefully maybe their last, but just a good first impression.
Right.
And how important that is.
It is important. And, just before this podcast, I was talking to the mayor and I was saying, even though I was in a school, I was at Sierra High School as the SRO. I've been on for 31 years. So part of that was being an SRO at Sierra High School. So when they kind of put you on the spot and said, which school do you like the best? I am very fond of Sierra High School. I'm very fond of School District 2 because they gave me so much opportunity to grow as a police officer. To, part of that is to make the rank of lieutenant. So, but, we educate. We get into what's wonderful about school resource officers is we can get into the health classes. We can get into the social studies class. And the best thing I love to do is just, hey, it's ask a cop. And of course you get, did you shoot anybody? No. Why did cops get to run red lights? And all those questions that
I have the same question too.
Yes.
Just kidding.
Yes. And all, so they get to see us where they can ask us anything.
Right.
And you're approachable. You're approachable.
Yes. And kids are naturally curious.
Yes.
So
they ask good questions.
Yeah, ask great questions. And what Officer Miyakusu, what we were talking about before the show was the press conference we had this morning.
Yes, and you were at Palmer High School.
Yeah, we were at Palmer High School, which
that's why you're sporting the hat.
That's why I'm sporting the hat.
Yes, they gave you some swag.
Thank you for. I got one here too, and
nice.
I'm represented.
And your kids will go to Palmer, correct,
My
Mayor?
kids will go to Palmer eventually, and it was such a great press conference, and proud of them. They asked great questions of me, district superintendent, and they're curious. So I think the SRO officers, their role is multifaceted. I kid you not. I was actually preparing my remarks last night, and I wrote in there, they're superheroes. Because I was just thinking through, we're talking about they're there in case of emergency. They're there to protect the students and the faculty and the administrators and the teachers. They, as the name implies, they're resource officers, so they're there as to be a resource for the students. They're not mental health folks, they're not counselors, but they're able to point students in the right direction. And so they're able to contribute to their mental health. And they get a lot of high fives and fist bumps. And that's what superheroes get.
It's really
true. And so the city is proud of this partnership with our local school district. So I like to think of it as an investment we are making for the next generation of leaders in our community.
Absolutely.
So
and one of the good things is we're just not there to enforce the laws, right? We're there to help educate. We're there to guide, right? And sometimes, yes, that is a summons to appear in court, but we try and do other things. Like we have Forge Evolution, which is teen court.
Forge Evolution, exactly.
Yes.
Some preventative.
Preventative stuff.
And so instead of just putting them in the system, we are able to do some other things, or maybe it's just school discipline, right? Maybe it doesn't need to come to us, but it's just school discipline this time, or maybe just a warning or that. So it's not somebody, a kid makes a mistake and automatically we're going to do arrest but we try and do so much more. And then they see us, right? Then they see us and like, well, Lieutenant Miyakusu, he didn't arrest me. I had to do
He helped
this.
me.
Yes.
He helped me.
And held me accountable for
Yes.
things. And the one other thing I wanted to say that we were talking about is it's such a joy that even though 20 years has gone by, I still get citizens and former students that come up to me and say, "You are my SRO."
Aww.
Give me a hug, give me a high five, take pictures. It's a wonderful feeling, and that's the joy. And my SROs right now, I have a great group of SROs that are so talented.
And that's the reward.
Okay, you said 20 years?
Yeah,
20
years
you've been
ago.
on 31.
I've been on 31 years, but 20 years ago I was at.
Sorry, that's what I meant. Well, by the way, 31. That's an incredible legacy. Thank you for your service. But I'm just thinking about 20 years ago. So some of those students are what? 37, 38.
With their own families.
With their own families.
That's wonderful.
That's so incredible.
And they tell me their job and they tell me, hey, I have kids and, they're just doing really well in our community.
And they've stayed here, yes.
And they stayed here. And so that's been great.
So during your 31 years, I know that you've been in different units. So I know you're not doing this now, but if you can kind of talk with us a little bit about outside the schools when it comes to the patrol division and school zones, this is a good time to remind our residents, whether you have kids or not, we all need to keep those school zones safe. That benefits everyone.
Absolutely. And even though there may not be flashing red lights in front of a school, everybody in your, where you live, in your neighborhood, where the schools are. Right? So just slow down because we have to protect our kids. We have to. And so to do that, we've installed more school zones in the city. So please obey them. And I know going down to, the lower speed sometimes is an inconvenience, but just think if it was your child crossing the street, right? You would want everybody to be cautious, everybody to be safe. Just remember, and I'm sure the mayor will bring this up, is that fines double in construction zones and school zones.
Right.
And our motor officers, our traffic enforcement division, they are going to hit that hard. And my marching orders to my SROs is that they will be out doing some enforcement too. So you're going to see
extra patrols. But at the same time, we don't have enough to be everywhere. So it's a shared responsibility. We need help.
We need help. We need our drivers to pay more attention. We need our pedestrians and our students and family members to walk that extra block, to pay more attention and
to go to the crosswalk.
And the reason why we invest so much, and you can correct me, but the reason why I believe we invest so much in the front end is we have to almost help people retrain and learn new behaviors that they've forgotten. School's out, and you had all summer, didn't have to worry about school zone, and you forget. Now our students, our kids are back in school. And so we have to invest in the front end to get the community back to the rhythm of making sure they're paying attention to school zones. And because our officers can be everywhere, it's why we also lean into technology.
Yes, and you're right. I like how you put that it's a rhythm that we all have to get into every fall.
I know I've in the past, and I'm before I had kids, it's a lot easier for me. I know every parent of kids, it's just easier for you to think about your kids' safety and school zone when you have kids. Before I had kids, it was harder for me to be empathetic.
Like now I'm late for work.
I'm late for work.
Yes.
And so as a resident, I needed that visible reminder, that correction to, you got to slow down. Kids are back in schools. And so slow down. Kids' safety really is top of mind for me as mayor, for many of our residents, for SRO officers, our administrators, teachers. And so we're asking and appealing to our residents to just pay attention.
Is that probably the biggest message you would have for residents also?
Yes, just be cautious. Our kids are so precious and we all want to protect them, right? And it does take a village. And part of that is taking your own responsibility to make sure that you slow down, you be cautious around school zones and just take that extra few minutes just to slow down and roll through there because we don't want to see any accidents.
It's funny, I've been with the city for a few years and I think we did some kind of video or educational campaign around school zone safety. And a couple days after we had finished doing that, I was at my own child's school and a little, maybe like a kindergartner or first grader just ran out between two cars because they saw whomever was picking them up across the street. Wow. Luckily, I was paying attention, going the speed limit, was able to brake. But we had just done all the reminders, which was good, that I wasn't distracted or even just looking behind me at my kids but it was awful feeling of just the near, the miss. Right. And I just cannot imagine what that would be like to have a real accident where there was a tragedy or even an injury of a child, because sometimes they don't know better. Or kids are not drivers. So as I tell my kids, always make contact with the driver, the eye contact before you cross the street, because they don't know. And so we have to really watch out for those little pedestrians.
Very good advice.
That's good advice.
It would be life-changing on both sides, right?
Both sides.
It would be life-changing for the driver and life-changing for that family.
For the family, yes. So thank you for all you do, for sharing all these things with us, and for your whole team. They're doing amazing work.
I appreciate you guys recognizing us, and I appreciate
you. Miyakusu, I can't believe that you've been here for 31 years.
I have. I can't believe it either. It's
time flies.
Kind of like I was going to say.
You must have started when you were 10 years old. I'm just saying.
Just saying. I feel old now, but with your kids going to school, they grow up so fast, which and so just take the time, appreciate that. Wants to go hunt dinosaur bones and wants to be a Navy SEAL, because time goes fast and pretty soon you'll be thinking about college and then they'll go on off.
Time does fly by. It's hard to believe, Jen, I've been in this job now for over 14 months.
Crazy. That's gone fast.
I felt like I just started.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. And it's hard. It's hard to believe.
It goes so fast. I had one of mine have her first day of school, because she's a senior this year.
Oh, wow.
So really fun. Really fun. But it went like that.
Yes, it goes so fast, and it's just amazing.
It is amazing.
And this job has gone so fast. I mean, because I started in '93, and so I can't believe that it has been 31 years. And this is because I love being in Colorado Springs. B, CSBD has been awesome, and the city has been an awesome
awesome place to work.
Absolutely.
Good recruitment.
Yes.
Lieutenant,
that is,
we need good people. We need good officers.
We do. We have a good crew. Speaking of officers, I'm really proud of the last class of 30 new officers. That we just graduated last week. I got a chance to so I started this new practice where I spend time with each class.
Okay.
Before graduation. So I feel like I get to know them before graduation.
Oh, nice.
So it's been really cool, and I'm taking that a step to the next level. Now I'm asking that I want to join the exercise when they get tased and pepper spray.
You're going to do some of that?
Oh, yeah.
And then
he said no.
Mayor,
don't do
Mayor,
it.
That's not fun. No.
I know. I want to see. It gives me, again, like the conversation we were having before the podcast started, the importance of leaders bridging the gap between those at the top that are making the decision and those in the bottom that
are doing the work. Yeah.
And so part of that is just for me to develop a deeper appreciation and earn some street cred with them. Okay, the reason why I bring this up, either that or Chief Vasquez has also sold to me the idea of maybe even doing the last PT exercise with them, where they run from the zoo to the shrine.
Yes,
and allow them to kick my butt. They're going to kick my butt.
Because I was just going to ask, who gets to tase the mayor?
Oh, yeah, they're going to be in better shape. But
the chief.
the 30 officers that just graduated, I felt such a bond and close to them. And by graduation,
you knew them.
I knew them. And I had a selfie with all 30 of them. And I was so proud to do the oath of office. And they're just a great group. This city needs to know that you have a great group of officers who are in it for the right reasons, who love our city, who are public servants, and we're getting closer and closer to that number of authorized strength that we need.
We're getting closer. We can feel it too.
And we're going to celebrate when we get to that point.
That's exciting.
That is exciting.
Anything else, Mayor, you want to mention to anyone before we go?
Because public safety is kind of what we're talking about. I know we're talking about school safety. It's important for me to mention a couple of other public safety related initiatives that we're in the middle of. The Citadel Mall issue has been a citywide safety concern. Fort Carson added the Citadel Mall and as part of the ban list, where the soldiers and family members are not allowed to visit. They made some exception, like for the church, the schools there. But the point I want to bring in that while we're not happy of how this thing started. We're really happy and proud of the opportunities now that are in front of us. We've gotten the attention of the owners, the management company, and they're here in town. I actually met with them yesterday, did a safety walk. They're going to be implementing some solutions. I just want our residents to know that there is hope. And we're trying to do as much in a short amount of time so that we can get those businesses back to a place of flourishing. Another one is I am hearing from businesses the smash and grab, juvenile crimes are increasing. We're talking about young people, and this is one of the reasons we have our SRO officers to hopefully help steer them in the right path. But we do have challenges in our city. Right now, business owners are asking for help. I want our business community to let you know that I hear you. The chief of police and I are addressing it. I'm also trying to work on legislation that helps. That way, I call it catch and release. I don't even know how else to say it. But legislation that doesn't really allow us to deter the behavior. And it's easy for bad actors to just repeat the same thing. And the last one, too, as I'm hearing from the business community, is some of the angst around homelessness. And we're taking that seriously. We're in the final stages of the city's new homeless plan. And we're engaging the business community, the residents, just to get some feedback to make sure our plan is reflective of their needs and wants. I will be making more investments in the hot team with the code enforcement, hopefully to increase more presence, to hopefully reset the climate. So a lot of good work in front of us. And Jen, the reason why, thank you for, by the way, allowing me to speak to this. The leader I was having lunch with today said, okay, give me a perspective on how things are going. I said, it feels like a tale of two cities. On one hand, we're celebrating Go Team USA, where if Colorado Springs was a country, we would be third in the medal count.
If all the athletes that lived and trained here were their own country, we'd be third.
That is
66
which is
medal.
awesome.
We celebrate that. We have some exciting announcements coming up in the airport. We have a new music venue that brings in big. There are a lot of great things happening, and there's still a lot of pain points. We have our work cut out for us, and we're not doing it in isolation. I'm doing it with great public servants. I just want our residents to know those two realities are present. I'll be talking more about it at my upcoming State of the City on September 9th at City Hall, and then September 10th, the traditional one to the business community at the Broadmoor. So stay tuned.
Yes, a lot coming up. Thank you so much. And I want to mention to people that City Council Member Nancy Henjum is hosting an open community conversation on the Citadel Mall topic. And that's happening September 20th from 4 to 6 at Zeal Church. And that's inside the Citadel Mall. So if people want to contribute, they definitely can. And then, of course, you can always just contact your council member, contact the city. ColoradoSprings.gov is always a great place to find more information about everything we've been talking about our police department. If you even want to become a police officer, you can go to our website. But also our homelessness initiative will be posted on our website. And as Mayor was saying, some of those initiatives.
We're going to do a press conference around it.
Okay. Yeah, so that will be great for people to keep up with. We want to hear from you. Our social media is also a great way to stay up to date on all the events that are happening and all the public meetings. I know we've had some public meetings just recently around Garden of the Gods has a big water line project going on.
Yes.
And they are improving their infrastructure, accessibility, and so forth at Garden of the Gods. So we've had some public meetings around that and some great...
It also protects one of our most iconic parks in case of a fire.
Right, because we're going to install new hydrants.
9 hydrants.
You're right. Yes. So that's wonderful
awesome
from a
news.
public safety perspective and emergency response perspective. So all those kind of engagement opportunities
Lots going on.
Yeah. So please stay with us. Keep engaging with us.
ColoradoSprings.gov.
We love engaging with you. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. And also Paralympics are happening.
Paralympics is coming up.
August 28th.
August 28th, yeah.
Okay.
Stay tuned on that as well.
So in case you're having Olympic withdrawal, like many of us are, that was so fun to watch. So you can tune in for the Paralympics, and just thank you both for all your time today.
My pleasure. And I just want to do one more thing. We're a proud military community, and in a military fashion, I'd be remiss if I didn't present my challenge coin.
Oh, nice.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you so much for all your service.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to Behind the Springs, everyone. Have a great day.